Hey everybody, this is Greg Gossett from Gossett Trading and Mentoring Live, and today is Wednesday, April 29th, 2020. We are again in the final hour of the trading day. I mention this each day, but in my opinion, the most valid time and the most valid price to make your buying and selling decisions is in the last hour, particularly in the last few minutes. During the day, you have the algorithms and the day traders. They're battling it out, fighting it out, controlling the prices. At the end of the day, you have the large financial institutions coming in. They're dealing with the most money. They have very smart people. They're dealing with the best technology. They have the best information. And that is when they wake up, come to town, and start making their decisions at the end of the day, and they take the control of the price away from the day traders and algorithms and move it to where they think it should be the proper price. So I like to piggyback a majority of my buying and selling decisions right there at the end of the day based upon what the large financial institutions are doing. So, wow, big day today, huge day today. Looks like Gilead had some good results with their possible treatment for the situation that's going on right now. And so the market has responded positively. Also, we had Google report earnings last night, which missed, but they had a fairly good outlook. So that was definitely helpful for the NASDAQ stocks today. Currently, we are up almost exactly 600 points on the Dow, up 2.49%. NASDAQ is the clear winner today, up 317 points, up 3.69%, and the S&P is up 82 points, up 2.89%. So what a day, what a market. Thank you all for coming today. I always look forward to seeing everybody. I really do. I think we have a great group, great comments, good feedback, great poems, and thankful for all of you coming here today and always, and I'm really glad to have this group. Let's take a look. So Mohammed is here. Hi, Mohammed. Good to see you. Appreciate you being here. Hi, Greg and fellow traders. Javier is here. Howdy, howdy. Hello, Javier. Dan is here. Hey, Dan. Good to see you. Kamal is here. Good speaking with you last night, Kamal. That was great. Scatty is here. Hello, Greg and all. Hello. Nice to see you. Marco. Hello, my friend. That's Marco, our friend from Slovenia. Hope you're having a nice evening. Zach is here. Good to see you, Zach. Appreciate you being here. Steve Burns is here. Always a privilege, always an honor to have Steve here. Hello, Greg, everyone. What a day. Wow, boy, I would say. And Steve's having some great trades today, and we're going to go over those in a minute. But thank you so much, Steve, for coming. I really do appreciate it, as always. Miko25, hello, good to see you, sir. Hope you're having a good day. Deanne, hey, Deanne, nice to have you here. Thank you so much for coming. I hope you're doing well. Frank is here. Hello, Greg and group. Hello, Frank. Always nice to have you, sir. Appreciate it. And Bob is here. Hello, all. Hello, Bob. Good to see you. All right. Well, listen, we've got a lot to go over today. First of all, I'm going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer, get that out of the way. Secondly, going to come back, take a look at my current positions, talk about when I bought them, why I bought them, how I'm going to manage them moving forward. And then after that, some of you have been kind enough to share your trades with me, and I will be going through those, taking a look and see how those are doing. I'll give you a hint. It looks like they're doing really, really well. After that, we're going to spend a few minutes on trader psychology. Always important to, at least in my opinion, to talk about trader psychology. Creating a plan is great. You have to learn how to trade, entries, exit, support, resistance, but after you create that plan, you have to follow it. And that's when the difficulty of trader psychology rears its head. And in my opinion, really the best way to stick with your plan is to have a conservative position size so that the price movements, either up or down, do not affect you too much. Because if they do, then you're going to step away from your plan. So excuse me. So I do like to talk about that. Then after that, we're going to go down through my watch list. I'm going to go down through each stock one by one and look and see if there's a potential entry for me today. I have 3 requirements when I'm looking to take a trade. First requirement, I look for a combination or a confluence of indicators lining up. I look at indicators not so much as lines and numbers, but I look at them as potential groups of buyers. and you will increase your chance of having dramatically of having a profitable trade if you are in the company with as many other groups of buyers as possible. So if I look for a confluence or combination of signals, I'm really looking for a confluence or combination of buyers to help increase the chance of having a winning trade. That's requirement number one. Requirement number two, have to make sure I have a good risk to reward ratio. It's very, very important. If you have a good risk to reward ratio, you don't have to win as much because you're losing less on the losses. And if you have some big wins on the upside, that's where your profit comes from. And then after that, it's always important to keep correlation in mind. Do not have too many correlated positions. If they all go up together, that's great. But if they all go down together, then they all go down together, right? So I like to diversify among different types of industries and stocks. I like to diversify outside of stocks like gold, silver, oil, bonds, just as much diversification as I can. So I'm going to go down through the list. If something looks good on first pass, I'll go ahead, check a potential candidate. And then at the end of the day, if I have several candidates, I'll go through and I'll try to whittle them down and try to really go through it with a fine-tooth comb on multiple time frames and look for the best possible entry that fits all my requirements, has the combination of indicators and confluence of indicators, and also risk to reward, also very, very important to me. And if I find something that qualifies, I'll go ahead and take the trade right near the close of the market. Then after that, after the market closes, if anybody has any questions for me, please let me know. If you'd like me to take a look at any stock symbols, I'm happy to give you my humble opinion on those. If there's any stock symbols that you feel like would be helpful for the group, or you'd like my opinion on it before the market closes, please go ahead, just put a star in there, and I will do my very best. Put a star by your stock symbol so that I know it's time sensitive. I'll do my very best to go over it before the market closes. All right, so that's the plan for today. If you could be so kind, hold tight, and I'm going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer. I'll be back in about 40 seconds. Thank you. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Please carefully read and/or listen to the U.S. government required disclaimer before watching this video or live stream broadcast. The video link and disclaimer text are located in the description section of this video or live broadcast, here and here. Thank you so much. All right, Mount Doji's here. Good to see you, buddy. Appreciate you coming. Hi, David. Good to see you. Hope you're having a good day. Our other Zach is here. Hello, Zach. Good to see you. William. Hello, Greg and all. Hope you're staying healthy. Yes, sir, I am. Hope you're doing well also. Deanne says alarm. All right. Well, let's take a look. ALRM. Well, it's having a good day today. You know, it is closing back above the 200-day moving average, which gives you a good close line in the sand if you're wrong. That's what I like about having standalone moving averages below me, that I know exactly where I'm going to get out if I'm wrong. And if it closed under the 200, I would just go ahead and get out. You know, we might get up into this range up here, you know, or higher, 70 RSI. So, you know, I think it does give a pretty good risk to reward ratio. Let's take a look at the weekly. Weekly is right there in the value zone, which is good. Yeah, it looks okay. It definitely looks okay. I don't know much about this company, but the RSI is not over 60. We're poking our head over the 200. So, yeah, I mean, if I were to take this trade, I would, you know, if I decided to take this trade, I'd take it over the 200. I'd keep it as long as it was over the 200. I'd get out if it closed under. So that's my take on alarm. Frank, how you doing, bud? Frank has a poem for us. Equity flows and money grows, but where it stops, nobody knows. Tops are a process and drops an event. Traders must manage where their money is sent, for the market decides if it's a gain or it's spent. Wow. Wow. That's amazing. One more time because it's so good. Equity flows and money grows, but where it stops, nobody knows. Tops are a process and drops an event. Traders must manage where their money is spent, for the market decides if it's a gain or it's spent. Wow, Frank, I say this every day, but it's just so good. So good. Wow. Thank you for that, Frank. Propaganda, how you doing? Good to see you. Appreciate you coming. Let's take a look at this stock here. Bioscience. Well, look, we had a big move up outside of the value zone. We're coming back into the value zone, which I do like. I mean, this fits one of my requirements that it has to be above the value zone, in the value zone. All I would require here now, though, is it stops going down, that it goes sideways for a couple days at least, and then has a V1 or V2 entry. But I like buying things in the value zone and selling them when they get outside the value zone. Dirk, hey Dirk, good to see you. Hello, just picking in. All right, Frank, thank you, Greg, you're welcome. All right, well, let's get to it. Apple, first position that I have had this for some time. I bought calls back here with the V1 on the weekly. I bought calls June 2021 calls, $250 calls. Right now it's $288, so this is nicely in the money. We do have earnings tomorrow, and so I'm going to have to make a decision whether or not I'm going to look at this as a long-term trade or whether I'm going to sell it. But most likely, I'm going to sell it. There's a lot of volatility priced into the stock price, which will come out after earnings go up, or after earnings come out. So this has been a really, really good trade. My idea on this trade was that Apple's probably going to make it through all this nonsense. It's just that it need a little time on its hands to get through, and it was the right call. So these have been really profitable calls, but we do have earnings tomorrow, so most likely I'm going to go ahead, just lock in this profit. It's close to 50% profit on my calls since I bought it about a month ago. So that is Apple. SPY. Well, SPY's been doing a little better lately, hasn't it? In case we have some new viewers, quickly just want to go over this. I know everybody gets tired of hearing this. Trust me, I get tired of saying it, but in case we have some new viewers, I want them to understand. I do buy the SPY every day at the close. I hold it overnight. I take that overnight risk, and I sell it first thing the next morning. And I do this based upon a back test from Liz Ann Saunders at Bespoke Invest. This back test, they tested both approaches every day since 1993. First approach was buy the SPY at the open, hold it through the day, sell it at the close. If you use this approach, negative 13.9%. However, if you do the opposite, which is what I do, buy the SPY at the close, hold it overnight, take the overnight risk, sell it first thing the next morning. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. This is very important, and it is true, and it goes for any trading approach. But, if I'm going to allocate money towards something, I'm going to allocate it towards something that has a good back-tested result, that has good statistics, right? Doesn't mean it's going to happen in the future, but the blue line is the buy in the afternoon, sell in the morning. Buy in the afternoon, sell in the morning. Orange line's buy in the morning, sell in the afternoon. You can see the blue line far exceeds the returns of the orange line. There are ups and downs in this. Trust me, I've gone through them. Some years are great. 2019 was fantastic. 2020 at the beginning of the year, not so hot tamale, let me tell you. But had a huge comeback here in the last month or so with this. So it's important to position size conservatively. I take a maximum 10% position size, but that is why I buy the SPY every day at the close, hold it overnight, take the risk, sell it first thing the next morning. So that being said, I've had 2 huge days on this. My gosh. I bought it yesterday at 285.73, sold it today at 295.51. And the other day I bought it here around 286.90. Yesterday sold it at the open at 291.59. So 2 huge days using this approach. It's higher than where I sold it this morning, but that's okay because that's the plan. It's pretty mechanical. Buy at the open, sell at the close. Buy at the open, sell at the close. So anyway, very thankful for that trade. Fantastic. And I will be buying the SPY again, as always, like every afternoon, and selling it first thing the next morning. All right, Love. This is Southwest Airlines. I did buy it yesterday. I bought this trade intraday because it looked to me like it was going to have a V1. I like this sideways motion here. See the sideways motion and then the stab down and the quick rejection right back up, forming that V1. I entered it on a different signal intraday, but at a little better price. I bought it at $29.28, but I still would, if I had not, I still would have bought this at the end of the day because of the sideways motion and the bullish engulfing bar and the V1. But I was fortunate enough to get it a little earlier at $29.28. Hit 2 profit targets today. Pretty nice. Got one right near the top. It only went 2 cents higher. So glad to have got that. As far as how I'm going to manage this trade, whenever I take a trade and it moves more than 1 ATR from my entry, then I start to use a trailing stop. And you can see, bought it here, it moved up. This is 1 ATR up to here. It has moved up above that 1 ATR move. So I will now start initiating a trailing stop. A trailing stop would be a close below the previous day's low. To the downside if it goes back down, to the upside if we reject the 50-day moving or the 50 RSI, which is up here, I will also go ahead and take my profits there. But did take some nice profits today with the two profit targets. So very grateful for this trade. All right, now let's get to some of your trades. This is Bing He. Bing He did buy TLT back here, 688.80. It's kind of been all over the place. It was nicely in the profit up here. Then it went down. Yesterday reversed strongly back up, and right now it's down today. So Bing He slightly down on the trade, not too bad. But if you have any changes, Bing He, with that trade, please let me know. Okay. All right. This is Steve Burns. This is Square. Steve did buy Square when the 10 EMA crossed over the 50 EMA. Bought it here at 63.99. The 1050 EMA is a good back-tested crossover. I think over all types of equities and different types of securities, the 1050 is, I believe, don't hold me to this, but I believe is probably back-test all in all the best. Some stocks backtest better with other moving averages and so forth and so on, but just it's kind of a general rule. And this is why Steve took it. Took it here at 63.66. His stop would have been a 10 crossing back below the 50. Yesterday went up, and then of course we had that big reversal bar, or the big reverse yesterday. So it was looking like, we might roll over, but today, of course, with Google's news and the Gilead treatment, huge day up today. So very nice trade, Steve. Like I said, he bought it at 63.66. Right now it's at 65.90. So fantastic, and what a difference a day makes, huh? So any changes on that, Steve, let me know. Facebook having a fantastic day. Steve bought this here 1050 SMA. This one backtest just a little bit better. Bought it here at 185.20. Moved up, reversed. Yesterday went negative on the trade, but again today big. We have earnings after the bell today on Facebook, so I imagine Steve will be exiting this trade before earnings because that's kind of his normal MO. So congratulations, Steve. Fantastic trade. All right, Nike. Uh-oh. Trying to find. Where's the Nike trade? Oh no. Did I erase it? Well, I might have accidentally taken this off, but I know Steve took Nike here with the right about here. Sorry, Steve. 1050 EMA crossover again. Move sideways, move sideways. Went up, and then it's down today. How rude. It was up much higher earlier, rejected the 200-day moving average, but if I'm right on this trade, right about break even, maybe just a touch on the loss. But sorry, Steve, I kind of messed my charts up there. What did I do? Sorry, everybody. Okay. Well, anyway, this is another good Steve Burns trade here with the 10 over the 50. Sorry, I'm discombobulated. Yeah. It was 10 over the 50. Oh, here it is. Okay, good. 10 over the 50 EMA. Bought this here at 109.38. Moved sideways, up nicely. Down yesterday, went slightly negative, and now huge day up 7.57% on that. It's a 60/28 RSI, so it does still have some room to the upside. And then, okay, so those are those trades. Congratulations, Steve. Unbelievable. I have a feeling Steve probably made an all-time equity high today with these amazing trades. So really goes to show you what a master Steve is. Amazon. All right, so we have GM from the chat room. She bought puts on Amazon expiring June 18th. 2 days ago. Was doing really well yesterday. Today, gone back up. So if there's any changes there, please let me know. Space. Bob bought this back on 4/27, 1782. Went up, reversed, up nicely today, up about 4% today. So congratulations, Bob. Nice trade there. And then Zach bought GME yesterday at 5/28, up 7.27% today. So man, some amazing trades from everybody today. Really, really good. And then, okay, well, here's one. Zach did buy the VIX yesterday here at 39.06, and it's down 5.83% today. So let me know if there's any changes there, and please let me know, anyone, if there's any changes at all with any of your positions so I can update them on the board. Okay. Hey, Jerry's here. Good to see you. Appreciate you being here. Jerry says SLV. Okay. Well, silver is getting close to a V1 entry today. A higher low V2 in the value zone. Not too bad. I'll actually have to take, oh, sorry. I have to mark that one. Yep. Then I marked that one. Yeah. Not too bad. We came down the value zone. We had a bit of a washout bar yesterday. I don't know if it qualifies, actually. I don't know if it washed it out enough, but it is following. It is creating a V2 here. If I were to buy this here today, I would get out if we had a close below halfway of the washout bar, which would be right there. But I don't think it washed out a quarter ATR, so I probably will not be taking that. Steve Burns says, I exited Facebook 194.63 for a 5.8% gain due to earnings after the close. Okay, fantastic trade, Steve. Proud of you, my friend. And let's take that one off of the board. And Steve doesn't hold through earnings, and either do I. All right. All right, so that's off the board. Nice trade, Steve. Frank says, I did pick up Microsoft this morning at 174.40. All right, I will put that up on the board after Zach says, what are we on Microsoft right now? 177. Fantastic. Man, awesome trades today. Zach, VX overnight was absolutely brutal to me. Yep. Sorry, buddy. Steve says, you are correct. All-time trading capital highs. Congratulations, Steve. Well done. Exactly, Frank. 100%. Zach says, I'm out of VIX. All right. Jerry, I sold it at 14.16. What did you sell, Jerry? I can't remember now. Okay. So listen, before we go down through my watch list, before I start taking a look for some potential candidates at the end of the day, I do like to comment on and do a few minutes on good trading words of wisdom, some things on trader psychology, extremely important. That's why I talk about it every day. There's some really good Facebook, Twitter channels out there that post great sayings, good things for us to listen to, good things for us to read and internalize. And one of my favorite channels out there is Thomas Paine. Thomas Paine was a scientist and changed his career to trading. And he really brings a nice approach, kind of brings that scientific method to trading, but really focuses a lot on trader psychology. Let's see what Thomas says. A casino doesn't need to know which cards will be dealt next in order to make money. It repeats its edge over and over, winning and losing with no concern over the uncertainty. This is how you must approach trading. Find your edge and don't be so needy. All right, so listen, a casino, whether they're dealing cards or it's the roulette or it's craps or whatever other game that they offer, that it always has a built-in edge, meaning that they really don't care in the short run if they have losing streaks. They just know they have an edge, and over the long run, that edge will play out. They don't get concerned if they lose 10 hands in a row, right? They don't get too ecstatic if they win 10 hands in a row. It's an edge-based approach, and trading is the same thing as being a casino. You have to find an edge, whether it's back testing moving averages, back testing other things, or just having a setup that has an edge. Doesn't mean you're going to win every single trade, and you are going to go through drawdowns. 100%, no doubt about that. You will, even with an edge. Casinos, have losing hours, losing days. They really do. But in the long run, like Thomas says, they are not concerned about the uncertainty because they have an edge. So Thomas says, this is how you must approach trading. Find an edge and don't be so needy. I guess what he means by don't be so needy is, don't be too emotional about it either way, especially if you're in a drawdown, because if you have an edge, it will play out over time. So anyway, keep that in mind, everybody. If you go through a losing period, don't worry about it. Just position size correctly. Make sure you have an edge with what you're trading, but you don't want to blow up your account because you use too large of a position size when you're in a drawdown, not to be able to continue after then that edge starting to play out. So thank you so much, Thomas. I do appreciate that, sir. And please subscribe to his channel at Trader T Payne or Thomas Paine on Twitter. All right. Silver. Ooh, very nice. Bought it at 14.16. Yeah, went positive today. Very good. All right, there's Jerry right there. We got him in. Dirk says, we are at the 61.8% retracement of the SPY from the last bottom. Time this turns. It's possible, you know, we're at that Fibonacci point where it certainly might turn, but it doesn't have to, right, Dirk? Just make sure you have a plan. Just make sure that you have a plan to the downside. It might hold, it might go back down, but just before you get into a trade, make sure you have a plan. Frank says, casinos do throw you out if you get too smart. That is true. That is definitely true, Frank, but the market doesn't, thankfully, right? Okay. And let's put Frank over here while I have time. At 174.40. Oh, I don't know if this is was your thinking, Frank, but it looks like you bought it right when it triggered the V2. Right here, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 2, washed out day 1, and then it triggered here. A lot of times I wait for confirmation at the end of the day, but it looks like, so I don't know if that was your plan, but even if it wasn't, nice trade. All right, fantastic. Okay. What do we have? We have about a half hour. Let me check a couple things here. Take a breather. Okay. Well, let's get on down here, take a look. Okay, Apple, boy, nice trade off of that 520, isn't it? The 520 crossover back here, it's up and down and up. We do have earnings tomorrow. We still looks like we haven't got above this previous range here, which could potentially be some type of resistance here. But anyway, earnings are tomorrow. Like I said, I've done very well on these long-term calls here. And probably just go ahead and do the smart thing and sell these before earnings tomorrow afternoon. Adobe, well, this huge down day yesterday, huge up day today. I actually bought Adobe here when we had the 1050 crossover. Immediately went against me, but then thankfully went back up here. I did sell it here a couple days ago. We weren't able to get above that high. Closed below the open, rejected the second ATR channel, opened higher, and I thought, dang it, and then it closed lower, and I thought, okay, good, I got out, but it actually is right about where I got out, slightly higher than a couple days ago. But anyway, was a good trade. For me to get interested on a lot of these stocks now, I have to have a cross under, a 1050 cross under and back over, or a pullback into the value zone. These might just keep going, I don't know. But that's how I trade. Amazon has earnings tomorrow. GM bought those puts a couple days ago, so probably roughly break even. She bought them all the way down to 1900 by June 18th, so it would have to get all the way down here. Oops, for her to be in the money. What did I do to the chart? Okay, what is going on here? Okay, but Amazon does have earnings tomorrow, so can't do anything with that. Like to buy Amazon on a pullback into the value zone if it gets there. I have no idea. Boeing, big day today. They did have earnings. What is happening with my charts? This is going to make a tough podcast if this does this. Did have earnings up much higher earlier. And then back down. I would be looking for a higher low V1 or V2. We closed below the value zone. Now we're up into the value zone. People that were fortunate enough to buy down here, if it starts moving sideways, going down, they'll probably lock in profits because they had a nice They had a nice run, but I would be looking for a pullback and a higher low V1, especially if it rejected this -1 ATR channel. So Berkshire Hathaway, big day up today. I'm concerned about my charts right now. Beyond Meat, boy, thoroughly rejected that 200-day moving average. Man, I'm sorry about this, everybody. I don't know what's going on here, but anyway, nothing there. Caterpillar had earnings yesterday, was slightly, I guess it was about break even on the day. It was up higher, but today new thrust up. Don't see a lot of volume here today though. Carnival Cruise Line, my gosh, what a trade. Here was this V2. I didn't take this, didn't wash out enough, but look at this trade. I think Jerry took it, I believe, and had a great trade, but man, it just kept going. I did buy some long-term calls on Carnival for an account I managed here in the value zone, and so those have done very, very well, but nothing here for me on Carnival. The Dow breaking out, made a new high here over this range. I would need a pullback in the value zone to get interested. Walt Disney was above the 1 ATR channel, came back into the value zone, which is what I like, consolidated, didn't get a trigger, and this has just been wonderful 3 days. Look at this, up 5.47% today. Etsy has just been a monster. It's been a monster run here, but I would need a pullback to get interested. Facebook up 13. Sorry, everybody. Up 13 bucks today. Steve had a nice trade on that. Earnings after the bell, so should be interesting. Gold did go positive as well. Did not have a V2 like silver did. But for me to get interested in gold, I'm looking for a 5 EMA to cross under the 20 and then back over, or a pullback deeper into the value zone in a V1. Google, boy, got slammed yesterday. Look at this today, up 10% on earnings. So just a little too high for me to buy here. If somebody desperately wanted to get in at Google at these prices, if you have a gap with earnings, if you're not using any overbought, oversold filters, if you have a gap on earnings and you want to get in, a good stop would be a close below the low of the gap up day. So, somebody had to buy it here. They don't want to have a stop all the way down here. It's too much of a risk, but close below the low here would make more sense. Goldman Sachs, big day, has rejected the 3rd ATR channel. I'd look for a pullback into value. Home Depot, big strong day, closed above the 3rd ATR channel. That is very, very strong to be able to close above the 3rd ATR channel. Again, I have to wait for a pullback to get involved. IBB, up today. I thought it would have been more up, but a pullback into value is what I would be looking for. Intel's crazy. We had earnings, it gapped down 5%, and then we rallied, and now it's up 5%. So congratulations, anybody has Intel, but a pullback is what I would be looking for. IWM, so strong, so strong, which is the Russell 2000, the mid caps. Man, this thing has just been motoring. But again, for me to get interested, close below or close back in the value zone. Also, the 1050 SMA crossover is a good back tested approach. Here it is, but we're still a ways. Oops, sorry. Getting closer to a crossover, but not there yet. Johnson & Johnson's had a huge move, kind of stalled out here. It's actually down today, looking for a pullback into value. CarMax, unbelievable move off this low. I mean, almost doubled, but too high here for me. Need a pullback into the value zone. Coca-Cola, up a bit today, not a ton in the value zone. This is where I'd be looking to buy, but there was no trigger. Lockheed Martin, close above the 200. I like that it closed above the 200 yesterday, tested it again today, and even up above the 100-day moving average. Only a 50 RSI. It's amazing to have things this high up here in the channels with only a 50 RSI. So, we came back down, we moved sideways, and who knows? This might work out. But I'm not going to mark that one today. MasterCard, oh boy. Rules, man, they can come to bite you. I did buy MasterCard here when I had this higher low V2. I did get out, I scaled out here. I did get out yesterday because we had earnings this morning, and I can't gamble through earnings. Obviously, wish I would have kept it. Is above the 200-day moving average now, which is good, but it's right up there near the third ATR channel. So I'm just going to pass on MasterCard. McDonald's. Need a pullback into value. Merck. Man, this Merck's been crazy today. Down and up and all over the place. Is a V1, but no sideways movement. Here's day one, day two, washed out day one, closing above day one. But there was no sideways movement. I want to see it come into the value zone, move sideways, and then have a V1. Microsoft, very nice trade, Frank. My gosh, she's already made 3 points on that trade. Fantastic. Netflix. Well, we're above the 1 ATR channel. We're above the value zone. We have pulled back into the value zone, and now we have a V1. But for me to get into a trade, I need sideways motion. Remember, more sideways motion, the better, because sideways motion breaks out either to the upside or the downside. Eventually, we don't know when and what direction. But this is a V1. There is no doubt about it. But I'm going to pass on it because I don't have the sideways motion. Nike. Steve's had a good trade on Nike here. Actually down today. V1 to the downside, bearish engulfing bar, rejected this 200-day moving average. Philip Morris couldn't get above yesterday's high, has that 200-day stuck right above it, so nothing there. PayPal, big strong day today, but just too extended, need to pull back into the value zone. Qs, looks like they're at the high of the day, bumping up against the third ATR channel. In order for me to get interested in the Qs, I'd have to have the 5 cross below the 20 and back over, or a pullback into the value zone, or another test of the 200-day moving average. Those would be my signals. Jerry, doing pretty well here with his higher low V2 in the value zone. Very nice. Good start to that trade. SPY, of course, we have that 200-day moving average above us, which could possibly act as resistance. We never know. But I'll be buying this again at the end of the day for the overnight trade. But it's very grateful to have that one, 2 great overnight trades in a row. Teladoc, well, this one, one of the few that's kind of starting to shape up. We had a nice uptrend. Now we're going through a pullback, which is, understandable. These, up moves have dips, right? They have pullbacks, and it is starting to pull back. It is back in the value zone. So 1 day in the value zone, I need a couple days sideways motion, and then a V1, possible V1, V2. Bing He with the TLT trade. This trade's just been all over. So Bing He, if you're out there, any changes in that, please let me know. Tesla up a bit today, 4%. Looking for a pullback. Twitter, big strong day. Big strong day. They have earnings tomorrow morning, I believe. Let's take a look. Yes, earnings tomorrow morning for Twitter. Today is going to be a big day. We have Tesla, Microsoft, Facebook, 3 monster stocks. Tomorrow, Twitter, and then in the afternoon, Amazon and Apple. So that's going to be massive. United Continental up 11% today. Unbelievable. Now we're above the 1 ATR channel. Looking for a pullback into value is what I would be looking for. Pullback into value, sideways motion, V1, V2. UNG, nothing really there. United Health Group, looking for a pullback. USO, you would think this went up a ton today, but it didn't. They had a reverse split today, so that's why. So this is going to mess up the charts for a long time as far as being able to get a good view on this. So nothing there. VIX, yeah, that one hurt, Zach. Sorry, buddy. Did have a V1 yesterday. Did test that low, but it was the Google earnings and the Gilead announcement that wrecked that one. Verizon is doing pretty well. I don't see any trade there. Walgreens, don't see anything there. Walmart, interesting. Walmart's no love today, but a good example of why I don't like to buy up in these ranges. I'd rather buy in the value zone and sell up at those ranges. So we are back in the value zone. I would just need this to move sideways, at least a couple days, have a spike to the downside, reverse back up with the V1 or V2. That's what I would be looking for. But interesting, Walmart's not participating today. Energy up huge today. My goodness, look at this, up 7%. I mean, back down here, the news was so bad on energy, everything looked horrible, but sometimes when the news is the worst, that's the best time to buy. Sometimes, but you always still need a plan. XLF, doing pretty well, having a little issue with this high over here. Real estate up a bit today, but nothing too exciting. Utilities just moving sideways. Healthcare moving sideways, not participating that much. Pull back into the value. And Zoom, well, here we go. Zoom was way above the 1 ATR channel, back in the value zone. Needs some sideways motion. Then look for a V1, V2. So I personally do not see anything today that I'm going to take. I'm going to hold my Apple till tomorrow afternoon. Grateful for that. SPY kicking butt today. I am going to enter a new SPY trade with the overnight, sell it first thing the next morning. And then really the main position I have today is Southwest Airlines, and hit the 2 profit targets here. It's moved more than 1 ATR, so close below the previous day's low will be my trailing stop. My profit target, my intermediate term profit target to the upside is the 50 RSI. So we'll see what happens. All right, let's take a quick look over here at Steve's trades. Steve still has Square doing very, very well. Congratulations. Nike, also Steve, down today. Man, there's always got to be that one, right? It'd be nice to just run the table on all your trades up, but you've got the one there. QLD, fantastic, Steve, up 7% today. This is double leverage Qs. Amazon, GM has the puts. This has really gone up, so this not good for buying puts. Bob is positive on Virgin Galactic. Zach up 7.62%. Congratulations. And then Jerry has the new position in silver. Very nice. And Frank has beautiful trade on Microsoft. Hey, Bing He, good to see you. GDX. All right, we have a short on GDX at 32. 32.90. All right, we haven't had a short for a bit. I'll make that red. 32.90. Okay. And we'll put Bing He in here. Dang, that one just reversed quickly, didn't it? Looks like you shorted the low the previous day there. All right, let me know if you have any changes on that, Bing He. Zach says, Greg, I did get out of Mark after hours after the live stream. You were spot on with your assessment, and it saved me quite a bit. Oh, well, I'm glad to hear that, Zach. Very good. Glad to hear that. Glenn says, hi, Greg. Glad I exited QQQ short IWM yesterday. IWM 36 had a gap at 140. Yeah, I remember. Glenn was short the IWM and long the Qs. And that was working pretty well there for a while because the IWM was underperforming the Qs, but now the IWM has taken off. So good to see you're out of that. Javier, CCL is running on that Wall Street Journal Kramer article. You know, I read somewhere that the CEO of Carnival Cruise Lines said that they had very strong bookings for 2021. Wow, what a trade. Javier says, GE is doing poopy. I have not seen GE for a while. Oh, yeah. They have earnings today, looks like. All right. Well, everybody has a lot of positions. There's a lot of positions out here. So we've got some longs, we've got some shorts, we've got some calls, we've got some puts. Oh, had earnings this morning. Oh, okay, well that makes sense. Thanks, Javier. All right, so my plan for today, I'm keeping Apple. Most likely going to get out of my calls tomorrow before earnings. You know, when you have earnings, there's always a lot of volatility priced into the option before earnings. And then as soon as the earnings come out, it goes out. So Apple could have good earnings tomorrow, but my calls could still go down. Does that make sense? Because the volatility is going to come out. So, you know, nicely profitable on the Apple calls. I'm going to go ahead, do the right thing, set a good example, and just get out before earnings. SPY, overnight SPY, of course, going to take that. It's just amazing the comeback that this approach has had. I'm glad I stuck with it. For a second there when things were really dark, I thought, man, maybe I'm going to skip. I skipped one day, if you remember, and I thought, no, you have to stick with it. And I'm sure and glad that I did because it was worth thousands of dollars to keep coming back and taking this approach. So 2 huge days in a row. And then love is showing a little love. It's been a nice trade and always nice to get that profit target when it's right near the top. So anyway, that's what I got going. I'm not saying that the market can't go up from here. It's probably more likely than it will. But again, over the years, I really trained myself to not buy something unless I feel like I have a good risk to reward ratio. So it might just keep going up. And if it does, hopefully Love will go up with it. Hopefully SPY will go up with it. Hopefully Apple will go up with it. But we'll see. Now, we're going to have earnings on, what did I say again? We're going to have earnings on Tesla, Microsoft, and Facebook. Anybody want to get a little pool going here on who's going to beat, what the stock's going to do? Let's concentrate on Tesla, Microsoft, and Facebook. And the winner will get free access to my daily live stream, which everybody has access to. But if you have any thoughts on Tesla, Microsoft, and Facebook, whether they're going to beat and whether or not the stock is going to go up or down, because as we know, stock may beat and the stock might go down, or earnings may beat and stock might go down. SFIX for Zach. SFIX. SFIX. Stitch Fix. Oh yeah, I know who they are. Well, I mean, we had a bit of a sub. I mean, all right. So we did have a V2 here. Here's day 1, day 2, day 3. Not sure if day 1 washed out day 2 washed out day 1 enough. It looks like it did, I guess. We did have a gap. Normally, I wouldn't not take a V2 on a gap, but we did close the gap and then come back up. You know, kind of some conflicting signals here. We rejected the 50-day moving average, which I don't like. We're still above the 50. Let's look at the weekly. We have the resistance of the 1 ATR channel, the negative 1 ATR channel above us on the weekly. Yeah, I mean, personally, I wouldn't take that trade. All right, what's everything doing here in the last few minutes? Let's take a look at the Qs. Oh my. Well, look, if I was trading the Qs on the value zone or on the 5-minute chart, nice run up here. I'm not going to buy up here, but now it's in the value zone. So if I was looking to take a trade, I'm not going to because there's only 3 minutes left. But you know, here we've come into the value zone. Two requirements have been met: above the 1 ATR channel, in the value zone. That's requirement 1 and 2. Requirement 3 is I need another day, another bar of sideways motion, and not going down, some stability, and then one bar that goes down, reverses back up, triggers a V1 or V2. So we're going to run out of time here before this will be able to play out. But this is a good example of buying in value, selling above value, buying back at value. Javier says, Tesla is an aberration. I could only buy into it with a short-term outlook. I like Elon's aspirations and determinations, but, and this is only my opinion, comes in exchange for honest management. All right, no calls on Tesla, Microsoft, and Facebook. Nobody has a crystal ball they can look into and see what's going to happen. So it looks like Qs are selling off a little bit here at the end of the day. We have 1 minute. It'd be interesting to see. Let's take a look at the 1 minute bars here and see what happens at the end of the day. Possibly on the nice V1 here with the rejection of the 200-day moving average. I'm not trading this. This is a 1 minute bar, but that is a nice, very similar to my trade in Love in Southwest. Nice sideways motion, spike down. Now it's reversing back up. We have about 30 seconds. Look at the volume here in this last minute. Look at the volume grow. Okay, there's the market. Okay, so only thing, let's see, where did I get filled on SPY today? I got filled on SPY at 293.21. $293.21. All right. So that's my only trade. That's my only trade for today, in addition to what I have. Hey, look, earnings are going to be out here quickly, and glad to go over any other questions that you have. Just real quick, just need to do my daily plug. Hope that's okay. I try to do an hour and a half, but I like to allocate 2 minutes for my plug. So hope you're okay with my commercial. But listen, I do offer private one-on-one coaching, teaching, and mentoring lessons in the evening time via Skype. I love to teach. I've had really good success with my clients. I really have. I've been trading for 24 years, full-time trader. I've had great coaches and mentors myself, like Stephen Burns, who hit an all-time equity high today. Dr. Alexander Elder, I'm sure you've heard of him. Kerry Lavorne, Larry Williams. I've learned a great deal from these gentlemen and these wonderful coaches and traders themselves. And so I do have a course. It's 5 sessions. Each session is 3 hours. That's pretty much the norm, is 3 hours. And I teach you everything I've learned from all my teachers and mentors and the gentlemen that I just described, everything I've discovered trading over 24 years. And it's a really good course. It is $1,000, but I think it's worth the money. I actually think it's worth more money than $1,000, a lot more. I think it's worth every penny. But if you're interested in doing a course with me, please let me know. You can reach out to me. My email's in the description of this video. You can also send me a message on Twitter. But in my opinion, the best way to learn something, whether it's guitar or trading, is to have be taught in a one-on-one setting like I offer on Skype. And the format of the course basically is the first half of the lesson of the Skype call. I teach you what I'm teaching you that day. And then the second half is basically you teach it back to me. I ask you a lot of questions. We do a lot of chart study. You're talking a lot. You're breaking down the chart. I'm throwing a lot of curveballs at you, see if I can get you off track. But, when you're done with the lesson, with the course, you really should be able to grasp trading, look at it, be able to trade in any market. So anyway, if you're interested, please let me know. I like to have a Skype call. Skype call's free, no obligation, no pressure on my end, but I do like to have a Skype call with a prospective student just to get a feel for them, ask about their trading and their goals, their challenges that they've dealt with in trading. And it's a good time for you to ask me any questions, detailed questions about the course as well. So anyway, if you've been thinking about it, it's a good time. Give me or send me a message on Twitter, and we'll set up that Skype call. And then also, if you like today's podcast, I would really appreciate it if you could take just a half a second, click that little thumbs up button down there. It really helps grow the channel. So, okay, well, there's my plug, and let's see. Kamal said, Facebook beat stock up, Tesla stock down, Microsoft beat stock up. Okay. Javier, like it, Kamal. Sounds good to me too. Mohammed says, Greg, does buying in the value apply to EMA crossovers under then over? No, the under over crossovers, the crossovers are standalone, although I like them better when they are in the value zone. And, I do have a filter where if they're over the second ATR channel, I will not buy them. But no, to answer your question, the crossovers really have nothing to do with the value zone because they're standalone. But if they happen in the value zone, I like them better. So I hope that helps, Mohammed. Marcella says, sorry, Greg, I lost it. Did you buy or sell at 293.21? I bought. That's the overnight SPY trade, Marcella, that I bought right here at the end, 293.21. Javier says, what's your experience with trading in MDT? What about for those who trade in PCT? I'm not sure what MDT is. Are you just talking about the stock symbol? Yeah, I don't see anything there. I don't see anything on MDT that looks interesting. PCI, whoa, big day today, huh? Man. If I was in that trade, I would definitely consider taking some of that off. Rejected the third ATR channel, the 100-day moving average, the 200-day moving average, and it looks like it closed below halfway of its range. Mohammed says, Greg, does the trailing stop apply for EMA crossover? It can. It just depends. It just depends, Mohammed. I know some people that trade it completely mechanically. I also have some students that will get into the trade with using the EMA crossover. But at some point, if it starts extending away from the entry, they will start to trail it, and other people will not. So it's really a preference. It's really more of your personality. If you're in it for the longer term, then you can get bigger gains. But if you don't want to ride the bucking bronco up and down and be in it forever, then yes, you could use a trailing stop if it moves far enough away. I was just teaching this exact same lesson with a student I have in South Africa. And he preferred to go with, hey, once it starts moving away from the entry a certain amount, he's just going to trail the stop with a close below the previous day's low. Time zone. Javier says time zone. Is that a stock? Is there a symbol? Or are you asking something else? Javier says, but PBC looks intriguing. PCT. Let's take a look at the weekly. Back in the value zone. Don't see really anything there. It depends on your time frame for sure, Javier. But I don't like today's price action. All right. Anything on Tesla? Oh boy. Tesla is down. I don't know if earnings have come out yet. SPY is up. That's good. Microsoft stock rises after company reports 15% sales jump. Hey, you're right, Kamal. Good call, buddy. Okay, it's up. So they beat and they're up. They're up about 1.25%. Mountain Standard, Pacific Standard. I am Mountain Standard Time, Zach. Mountain Standard. Yeah. It's 2:09 my time. Javier says, to clarify, I'm asking what is your experience with trading in those time zones, Mountain Time and those who trade in Pacific Time. What is it like there? Not 100% sure, Javier, what you mean, but it's a good time zone to trade for me. It's 1 o'clock when the last hour of the market's from 1 to 2, so that's a good time of the day to trade. I know people live in other countries have to wake up really early or really late, like Bing He is in Singapore, and he has to wake up 4 o'clock to make this podcast. Kamal says 3 for 3 now. Facebook is up too. Fantastic, Kamal. Let's see. Holy smokes, Facebook's up $12. Wow, up another 6%. That's amazing. That's amazing. Frank says, I was able to sell Microsoft at 180. Oh, 180 in after hours. Congrats. Man, what a trade. 174 to 180 today. Unbelievable. All right, so let's free up some room. Yeah, sorry, Javier. I'm not quite sure I answered your question. Oh, Kamal says Tesla's up now also. Is it? Oh my. It's up 4%. Hey, 2 for 3 is not bad. 2 for 3 is not bad, my friend. Who else do we have today? Teladoc. TDOC. Oops, TDOC. It's up $1. Not too shabby. Zach, when you have a moment, would you take a look at GME for me just to see your thoughts? This has been a play on a highly overshorted stock for me. I was going to sell it if it didn't close $6 today. Ooh. Well, it closed at $5.99. I mean, look, obviously, Zach, I wish I knew it could happen, but you know, it made a higher high today. It didn't close below the previous day's low. Didn't close below the 5-day. So, you know, the way that I personally look at this, there's really no reason I would not have sold it today. You know, I would wait for some kind of reversal or rejection of something above me. Kamal says, with the factory shut down, Tesla is up. How crazy can a stock get? Javier says, Tesla hasn't announced anything yet. Oh, they haven't? Sure is acting like they did, huh? All right. Oh, now Tesla's only up 13 points. All right. Well, now Tesla's down. Now Tesla's down. So you still might have the trifecta. Being He says, don't understand why gold is still going up. I'll tell you, Being He, it's difficult to understand why anything goes up or down. It's really, honestly, one of the best reasons to just be a price action trader. Just take the signals when the signals happen, even if your big picture on whatever security or whatever it is doesn't fit it. I'll tell you, I'll tell you what, I mean, you know, if somebody had just asked me what I think the market's going to do, I would have never in a million years thought the market would rally like this. Not in a million years, right? That's why I think people always do better as traders, that they just follow their signals, right or wrong. They follow them without trying to get their opinions, factor their opinions in. Dan says, hey, does anyone get free trades after hours? I am thinking of changing brokers. I don't think my Merrill Edge is good anymore since others offer free trades and platform is cumbersome. Yeah, Dan, there's so many brokers out there that offer free trades. I mean, like, Charles Schwab, TD Ameritrade. It kind of seems kind of ridiculous to pay for commissions now. You know what I mean? Oh, Tesla's back up now. Well, how about that? Nice trade, Frank. Beautiful trade on Microsoft. Mine does. Charles Schwab did an after-hour trade last night. Price action trading makes sense to me after today. My VIX play was due to me thinking after yesterday, no way the market does what we saw today. Yeah, there you go, Zach. William Green, regarding gold going up, could it be that debt going up so dollar may go down, which would increase gold? Yeah, 100%. I mean, that's, generally gold is a hedge for inflation. I'm sure people have other ideas and opinions about that. But yeah, I mean, we have debt. Dollar goes down, gold usually goes inverse of dollar. Javier says, Dan, have liked TDA through though the execution can be lacking. William says, Microsoft on a roller coaster since close. Earlier today when I got up, there was this helicopter hovering above my house. It's like, what is happening? And I live up in the mountains, so I thought, oh, maybe it's life flight or something like that. And sure enough, I went outside and it was life flight, but they were like right above my house, going around my house. It's like, what is going on? Anyway, just something I thought I'd share. All right, everybody. Listen, I am going to get out of here, go for a hike. I have a new student tonight, quad racer, so I'm looking forward to that. Always look forward to have new students, get to know somebody, and spend time teaching them what I know. So, if you're interested in the future, just reach out to me on Skype or reach out to me for my email or over on Twitter at Gossett Trading, and we'll set up that Skype call and maybe hopefully have some lessons with you as well. So, okay, have a good rest of your day. Please go out, try to do something nice for somebody today, just a smile or hello, just something. Give them a call, check in, make sure they're doing okay. I'm sure they'll be happy and grateful that you did. So, congratulations, everybody, on all the great trades that it looks like everyone had today. And we'll do it again tomorrow in the last hour of the market. So thanks again for coming. Always good to see everybody. Have a good day. Have a safe rest of your day. And we'll talk to you. Oh, wait, let me check one more time. I want to check on Kamal on Tesla. Oh, it's up right now. 2 out of 3 is not bad, Kamal. All right, everybody. Take care. Have a good rest of your day. Bye-bye. U.S. government required disclaimer. Stock, options, futures, and forex trading is not appropriate for everyone. While there is a potential for large rewards, there is also a substantial risk of loss associated with trading. The material in this video or live broadcast is not geared towards any particular individual or to any particular financial situation and is not intended to meet the particular investment objectives of any viewer. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Any and all information contained in, implied, or referenced by this video or live broadcast is not to be construed as investment advice, and no representation is made that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast is an investment or financial advisor or is registered or authorized to give any financial advice. We are publishers and educators only. Therefore, the various producers of this video or live broadcast will not accept liability for any loss or damage of any kind which may arise either directly or indirectly out of the use of any of this material, including any loss of profit. No representation is made that any account or investment will or is likely to achieve the profit or losses demonstrated. We recommend consultation with a licensed and qualified professional before making any investment decision. This video or live broadcast is not to be construed as an offer to buy or sell any security, financial instrument, or financial product of any kind. Notice is hereby given that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast or their clients may have an interest in any security, financial instrument, or financial product mentioned or referenced. Any simulated or hypothetical performance result depicted does not represent actual trading and therefore may under or overcompensate for the impact of various market factors such as lack of liquidity. Thank you.